Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to another AMA. I have the pleasure of having here today Riaz Mehta, the CEO of Ritestream. How are you today? Welcome to my channel.
Hey, April. Thanks so much for having me here today. Yeah, absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely my pleasure. So, guys, start dropping your questions. We already have a lot. We'll try to pretty much get to everything. I mean, the chat is exploding already. So, exactly what we wanted to see.
That's good. We want to see that, and I'm happy to answer pretty much anything. So take it away.
Fantastic. So, why don't we start with an introduction of Ritestream, of your background? Maybe you want to talk also about other members of the team. Why don't you get the ball rolling, and then we're going to get to a lot of questions, both from on my end and from all of the audience right here.
Okay, absolutely. So if you will indulge me for a couple of minutes, I'll share a bit of my backstory, and I'd love for our audience to get to know who we are because there's so many crypto projects out there, and I think that the team is what's ultimately going to make it a successful project. So my background is actually in technology. I grew up in Australia with a degree in computer science, and I spent the early part of my career in technology with an Australian tech company. The company I was with, Kaz Group, we went from an early stage startup of about 20 people through to an IPO in the Australian Stock Exchange to about 3,000 people through the time that I was there. So, and we were, the darling of the stock market. So I've seen the company, and I was part of the leadership team and shareholder in the company that we saw it go from humble beginnings to become hugely successful, and that was an incredible journey for me. And that journey kind of brought me to Singapore because the company was expanding into Asia, and they needed someone to build out the business in Asia. So I came to Singapore, set up the business, and then a couple of years down the track, we were acquired by Telstra, which is a big Australian telco. And at that point, I stayed on with Telstra for a little while longer, but then I wanted to follow my own passion, and I always had a creative streak in me. And uh, uh, at first, I didn't know, but I kind of almost stumbled into it because I had friends in the entertainment industry, and I got involved in a production in the US for a reality TV show, and that kind of gave me the bug for creating content. And so I ended up building a production company which specialized in reality TV content. And initially, I was licensing international formats into Asia, shows like The Biggest Loser, Contender, etc. Um, and through that journey, I decided that, hey, I want to create my own IP. So I went on to create a number of my own reality TV formats. Some have been nominated for Emmy Awards, some have won Asian TV Awards, and I think you may have seen one that I did recently called The Challenger, which won the Asian TV Award literally last weekend. So I'm still producing content because it's a passion of mine, and I think it's something you get in your blood, and you kind of want to keep doing it. And I've had my shows on Netflix, Hulu, Fox, just about every major platform in over 100 countries. So, reaching hundreds of millions of viewers. So, uh, uh, deep domain expertise in producing reality TV content and also in monetizing that content as well. And that journey kind of led me to actually creating the Web2 platform that I have, which is called All Rights, which is basically a content distribution business. And we have an innovative business model there. We provide content as a service, which is quite unique that nobody else on the planet is doing that today. So that's a disruptor to the industry itself. And we help creators monetize their content more efficiently. We have clients across North America, across Asia, Middle East, Africa, pretty much across the globe. And that's All Rights is, come from its humble beginnings as a startup to, an established business now and on the way to a listing on NASDAQ as well. So that business has done an incredible journey, and I'm still CEO of that company and continue to lead that. But the other problem that I wanted to solve was for creators in terms of how do you bring creative concepts to life from nothing, right? So as a creator, the journey that I've done, I'd come up with a great idea, then I'd go to a broadcast network or a sponsor or an investor to get funding for a particular show format or a movie and so forth. And that's a very long and arduous process, Cipro. And it can take years, and most ideas never even see the day of light because of how hard it is to actually even get through the doors of a studio or through a broadcast network. And for me, I wanted to make life easy for creators. I wanted to foster creativity and empower people. And to do that, I thought about Ritestream, and that's where this platform was born, because I wanted to democratize the content creation process, and I wanted to introduce transparency into that process as well, so that as a creator, you can come to the platform, have your concept funded through the community, and for the community to benefit through that as well, so that everybody has a stake in that, and to create an ecosystem that essentially benefits the creators and their fans at the end of the day. And so we embarked on that journey a couple of years back, and uh, essentially, this is an ecosystem play for us. So the uh, uh, the different legs of the ecosystem. So if you can imagine that a creator would come to the Ritestream platform, they would get their content funded through their fans, who would then have essentially, a piece of the cake and be able to benefit from that longer term. And then we have the all rights ecosystem, where that content can be monetized effectively. So it's not just that you bring content ideas to life and don't know what to do with it, because we then give you a channel to actually monetize your ideas as well. And then, of course, we have got a production entity that can actually produce content if you need any help on that front as well. So it's a three-pronged approach, which I haven't seen anyone else do within the Web3 space, because we've seen projects that are focused on just creating a TV show, for example, or that offer a streaming service, whereas we kind of do everything, and it's an all-encompassing solution. When we launched our platform, we said we would have a streaming solution, and we have a live streaming solution today. So you can go to the Ritestream app, the web app, and essentially stream hundreds of movies basically, and you using the right token, and essentially you're staking the right token to actually watch content. So it is literally free for people to watch content. And because we have this all rights ecosystem, we have access to over 140,000 hours of content on our platform, which really puts us way ahead of anyone else, that we can take this content, we can put it onto the Ritestream platform for our community to enjoy, and essentially increase the monetization potential of this content as well. Does that make sense, April? I know I've said quite a lot of things, and
Absolutely. Please keep
a
going.
lot to
Keep
take
going.
in. Yeah.
There are a lot of
But
information to take, but it's definitely what I wanted to hear. So that's fantastic.
so my vision and mission is empowerment.
Yeah.
In in one simple word, it is empowering the community, and it's empowering the creators, and it's what we're doing is it has got very sound business foundations around it. We have got decades of experience within the entertainment industry. If you look at my co-founder Damien, he spent early part of his career in Fox. He's had multiple startups himself. He's basically been on the inside of this industry for decades as well. So what you're dealing with here are very seasoned professionals. I mean, if you look at other people on that you've got up there, people like Natalie, people like Suki, for example, um, Mike. So all these people are veterans in the entertainment industry. Even Jamie, he's been in entertainment, but he's been deep into Web3 space as well. So we have that perfect mix that we're bringing together of experience, business experience, industry knowledge, and we're here to build a long-term business. And uh, we if you see the evolution, like what happened in Web 2, in the dot-com days, there were a whole bunch of projects that launched, and most of them didn't survive. But the ones that did, the Amazons of the world, they are the multi-trillion-dollar businesses today. And that's kind of how we see ourselves, that we've got the right foundations, that we're going to be around for a very long time. We're building a business with fundamentals that are solid, that are solving a real world problem as well. So that's a bit about us, but ask me anything, of course.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. So guys, just cheer up, pump up the likes for Riaz, kind enough to
Whoa, thank
give
you.
some of his time. It's very late in Singapore. It's literally 10 p.m. and he's here with us today. So thank you again. That's fantastic. Great, exactly what I wanted to hear. Why don't you start talking about specifically about Cryptonites? Because I'm sure a lot
Okay.
of people will ask about that.
Yeah, 100%. It's a project that's very close to my heart, of course. And Cryptonites is actually something that I came up with. So it's because I've done the Web3 journey. Like my first foray into Web3 was in 2013 when I bought my first Bitcoin. And I've been in this space for what, over 10 years now. So, and seen the ups and downs of this journey. And my vision with Cryptonites is really to bring Web3 to Web2 audiences, to actually bridge that gap so that we can have greater adoption for Web3 and to demystify it, even though Cryptonites has a mystique surrounding it, because I think the mystique is very important, because that's what's going to attract our audiences, because that's going to get people to be curious about what is this thing, right? And essentially, with Cryptonites, I'm creating a platform that is not just a television show.
Mhm.
It is a format that community can really participate in, that they can have a piece of the action, so to speak, that they can have a piece of the projects featured in the show, that they can have exclusive access that normally wouldn't be available to people, that only the whales kind of get access as well.
Mhm.
So this is a great differentiator that nobody else has in the market today. And uh, 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 this is a platform whereby projects will not only be able to get funding, but also they'll get mentoring as well. Because having done the whole journey in crypto, it's there's a lot of winding pathways and you know places that lead roads that lead nowhere sometimes. And if you have people that can help you navigate that, especially if you're an early stage project, and that can actually show you the right way of executing, then your chance of success are dramatically increased because you have the right support structure. And so we're building that support structure. This is not about um, uh, just creating a bunch of hype. This is about building something real that people will be able to take advantage of, that projects will benefit, that our community, our token holders will directly benefit from this as well.
That's awesome. Fantastic. And what can you tell us about what the timeline looks like? When is this going to be released? Where can we watch it specifically? All go in over everything that you can tell us for the moment.
Okay, so what I'm happy to share is that We're going to be in pre-production. We're targeting late March, which means we'll be filming around Q2, and we expect the show to be on air by early Q3, um, which uh, which is a fairly quick timeline, but we want to make sure that it is a fairly condensed timeline from the time that we select the projects to the time that the show goes on air, because we don't want a whole year to lapse, because essentially what happens is the projects that would have come into the show have become stale by that point. That, we want these projects to be fresh for the community to engage with them. And the timing, I believe, is going to be excellent, because uh, I believe everyone in the crypto community feels there's a bull run, right around the corner,
Yeah.
especially with the halving. So this is all, precision timing at the end of the day, and timing is everything in business, as you would know. So we that's kind of the broad strokes timeline that we're looking at. And distribution wise, I mentioned to you, Cyril, that we own our own distribution company. So which means we have access to literally hundreds of millions of households through all the major networks. I've had shows on Netflix, I've had shows on HBO, on Fox. These are all not only partnerships I've had for years, but friendships as well, right? With the heads of these organizations that are very, very close to us. In addition, I'm pleased to announce that through All Rights, we are launching our own channels as well. So our channels will be on Samsung, LG, Roku, you name it, across the board. Plus, we have our own streaming platform, Ritestream. So distribution is the least of our worries, shall I say, because we have a whole team that just does that and nothing else, day in, day out in our business.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Um, Another question that I had: what specifically can you tell us about the token utility? Can you describe the entire utility of the right token?
Yes, I can. Of course, I know it inside out. But I'm not going to give everything away here, because
Okay,
we'll be releasing quite a detailed roadmap shortly as well.
nice.
So I don't want to steal the thunder from my
Of
team, so to
course.
speak. But maybe I can drop you a few little hints here in terms of how the token will be utilized. So essentially, we see the right token as the core of this entire ecosystem. And if you're a token holder, you have access to the TV show. And I'm not saying to just watch the TV show, but to actually own a piece of that. You have access to the projects that are actually featured in the TV show as well, and to participate in those. Um, you have access to actually watch content. And this is not just Cryptonites, by the way, Cyril. So when I started talking about what Ritestream is, it is much bigger than Cryptonites. Cryptonites is one show that we're producing on it. We actually have 10 shows lined up for this year
Oof,
on the platform.
damn.
So if the community thinks that's it, no, it's not. There's back to back. There's more shows, more films, etc., that you can participate in. That's been always a fundamental thesis, right? So this is not like a one-hit wonder, and we're not relying on, hey, if Cryptonites is a huge success, then Ritestream succeeds or fails. Cryptonites will be a huge success because we are professional producers. We have numerous awards to our name in this genre in reality TV that not many other people can boast. And this sets us apart. But then we've got reputable production companies. We have, if you go to our platform, if you look at some of the announcements, we have talked about films with Lifetime. Now that's a huge brand. It's not to get something like that on our platform. That's a gold standard that nobody else can boast. So we are already differentiated from any other project out in the market. And you can imagine what's going to happen, right? That the access community is going to have to all of these unique projects coming on the platform, A-list projects coming to the platform, and the token being at the center of all of that. That this is your gateway to everything, and we'll explain in the coming days, weeks, etc., on how that gateway is going to function and how the utility is going to function. But it is at the heart of everything. So I hope that helps.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so why don't we get started with some of the questions from the audience? We have a lot, so of course we're going to try to do
Sure.
everything within the time frame we have available.
That's okay. Yep.
All right.
Take
So
it away.
first of all, a lot of people are asking about the Mexi situation. I've already saw that you guys posted an update that the
Yeah.
trading Mexi is resuming tomorrow. So I actually posted it right here, like literally down in the comments, the
Thank you.
status update. So yeah, guys, just check it
Yeah,
out.
and I think I just want to share with the community that, look, from our perspective, we don't want to hold up any listings, right? For us, we want to keep trading, and I hope the community appreciates that. In crypto, every project, I think when you become successful, then you go through some challenges. Axie Infinity went through that
Yep.
last what was it, last year before, and it's like, you know people's eyes are on you, and but that doesn't stop us. It's like we literally we had that little bit of a glitch. We found a solution to it. We jumped on top of it. We controlled the situation. We work with the centralized exchanges, and we resolve it. So, but what the exchanges do at their end is not within our control. There's only so much that we can handle.
Yep.
And, we did that like literally within 48 hours at our end. But then it was back in the hands of the exchanges. So some were faster, some were a little bit slower, but, they're all good partners. They've been very supportive of our journey. And, I would say by tomorrow we should be, we've already got a couple of them running since yesterday, and then Mexi's going tomorrow, and we expect Gate to be follow soon thereafter as well, if not around the same time.
Gotcha. And they're asking also, Bitmart is already trading, right?
Yeah, that's been trading for since yesterday, I think, or the day before. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that answers the questions. We got a few here. So Maxi, we already talked about this. Future centralized exchanges plans. Of course, everything that you can say, because I know there's NDA behind and not much
Yeah.
that you probably can say.
Because with some of the big exchanges, as soon as you say the name, then all bets are off. That's it. You're not listening anymore. So. But of course, look, I think what the community needs to understand, and unless you're actually a project owner, you probably don't understand that what the bigger exchanges look for, A, is the community support. They also look for trading volumes. And, ultimately they're a business, right? So when these things start to build up, which they already are, and we're doing really well, then it's quite natural to move up to the big exchanges anyway.
Yeah.
So we see that happening, in the very near future, where we are incredibly well connected within that ecosystem. Uh, let's put it this way: there's no one that we can't actually access per se. Stacey used to be my neighbor where I lived before. There's a whole bunch of people that we do know within this industry, but at the right time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. How's the team gonna overcome the FUD created by the recent dip caused by the hacker?
Look, in crypto, I think FUD happens, but essentially it's about execution. And as people will see our rollout plans, this is beyond anything anyone's ever seen in this space. And I will let our actions speak louder than words. And
Yes.
you will see that. We've got it mapped out, with very precision timing. So, and we've got some awesome people on our team that are actually working on all of this. So it's you will see it in our actions.
Fantastic. Somebody's asking if you're Indian, what your ethnicity is.
My ethnicity is originally Indian, yes, though I grew up in Australia. That is correct.
Gotcha. New strategy exchange listing. We already talked about this. When does your start? We already talked about this. How are you guys gonna compete with the rivals like Hello? I'm sure you're well aware of who they are.
Yeah, look, of course. I kind of say this is a great opportunity for the community because you've seen what Hello has done, right?
Yeah.
And I was having conversations with the Hello team uh, about a year and a half ago, and we were looking at, okay, do we partner? How do we do this, etc. And our journeys are quite different. So that's why we didn't end up partnering, but we did talk about partnering at one point in the early days. Um, uh, the mission that we're on is very different to what Hello is doing. I think with Hello, it's very much about killer whales and about gaming, whereas we're disrupting an entire industry on how content is created, how content is funded, and uh, we don't even see it as a competition, to be perfectly honest, because
Mhm.
if it was about creating one show, then I do that for a living. I've done that for a living for many, many years. For us, it's about a much for us it's about a vision that is about empowerment, and it's about involvement with the community. It's about empowering creators, and the opportunity for the community is, if Hello is sitting at 100 mil market cap and we're sitting at 3, then you can imagine if you came into right today what it can do in a very short time.
Yeah.
The upside potential is infinite. So
Yeah.
yeah, but Paul at Hello is a great guy. I know Paul, and good heart, and I wish them all the best. It's like we don't even see it as competition. We kind of say, there's lots of room in the market for good players out there, and we want more people to succeed because that's how we build this ecosystem.
Of course. Mr. Mehta, is it correct the metaverse is named after you?
I think I'm gonna get that tattooed, and I'll drop the H in my name. The metaverse. Yes.
That's funny. All right. Seriously, big supporter of the project. I think it has absolutely huge potential. When will we know more about the Launchpad?
Oh, very soon, guys. In the coming days and weeks, literally. It's we one thing about our project, when we promise something, we deliver it. We promised you that we'll have a streaming app, and you had a streaming app, like web app, last year. We promised you a Launchpad, and we have already announced 2 films on the Launchpad as well. So it's all happening before your eyes.
Nice. Fantastic. Wait, lost track of the comments.
Yeah, there's a
Riot.
lot of comments.
Yeah. Could Riaz tell us about his recent flawless victory at the Asian Television Awards and his existing network in the Asian market?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, for me and my producers, whenever we create any piece of content, it's a work of art, right? We are artists at heart, and we're always striving for excellence. And because we've done it so many times, producing reality TV or any kind of content, there's an art and a science to it, and how you do the storytelling. And I'm proud to say that we have perfected that, and that's why when we won at the Asian TV Awards last weekend, we were up against Australian Survivor. Now, the Australian Survivor budget is 10 times the budget that we had to work with. So it wasn't about how much money was behind the show, it was about the creativity, and it's about the execution. Um, and our existing network in the Asian market, where I've lived in Asia a long time now, so of course we are friends with all the major broadcasters, and had shows on major cable TV platforms, on free-to-air platforms, on streaming platforms. So we have a really, really good network. literally we can pick up the phone to anyone within this space.
That is definitely great to hear.
Thank you.
Somebody is, yeah, the same person is saying that I'm doing things the right way.
Yay! Got it.
All right. On which channel will Cryptonite be broadcast? We already talked about this. Will there perhaps be combination of Web 2 and Web 3? Example given, Cryptonite perhaps on HBO?
Yeah, 100%. That there'll be a combination of Web 2 and Web 3. Of course, we have on Web 3 streaming platform. There are a number of Web 2 platforms that we work with. We're launching our own Web 2 platforms as well. So, and remember, it's not just about where it initially broadcasts. Like executing a project like this, there's multiple iterations, and how you give it life, on multiple platforms post the initial broadcast as well. And that's what we're really good at as well.
Yep. Will video projects presented in Cryptonites also be available on Launchpad?
So that's an interesting question. I think they mean Web3 projects, right? So Cryptonites is really about Web3 projects getting funding. So the Launchpad, just so people understand the difference, the Launchpad is a Launchpad for film and TV content. So if you're a producer, you could come to us and say, I want my content funded through the community, and it's done by the Launchpad. Cryptonites is helping Web3 projects. So, they might be doing their own token launches, etc. So that's the differentiator. And the community can participate in both, of course.
Gotcha.
Hey, April, nice job. I like that.
Easy. Can Riaz talk us through the roadmap a little more? Let us know what we have to look forward to. Also curious about how many tokens I will need to participate in the Launchpad.
Like I said before, I don't want to give everything away right now, but please come and join our community, and we will be announcing the roadmap and a lot more details there. And I've got a whole team that just looks after that stuff.
Gotcha. When will Ledger Wallet show the new contract address? Do you know anything about what Ledger is doing? I have no idea.
Oh, it's not a Ledger issue. It's like you can import any token into Ledger. So you just need to place the contract address, and a lot of our community are already using the new contract on Ledger. So
yeah,
that should be fine now.
Yeah, I can't speak about Ledger myself, but I use Tangem. I've tried even with hot wallets, and you just need to copy and paste the contract address. It's
Correct.
updated both on the Ritestream website and also on CoinMarketCap. I think this is updated, right?
Yep, it is.
Yeah, so guys,
it's
just go on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. The contract is updated right there. You just copy and paste it and import as custom if it's not available in your Web3 wallet, and everything should be solved. And I had somebody else, I can't find a comment, but somebody was asking, oh, my tokens are useless. They show as 0. It's because probably you have it, I mean, not probably, like that's a fact. You have it on the old one.
Correct,
so you need to import in the new one, and then you're going to move them from the old to the new, and they're actually going to show the actual value in the current moment.
Because we've already done the airdrop, so you've got the new tokens. You just need to import the new contract address, and then they'll appear, and your value is going to be restored, basically. So nothing's lost.
Yeah. Do you foresee any centralized exchange listing before or after the halving?
We have new sexes approach us like every day, pretty much. And we are being very selective about who we will go with, because the next step for a project like ours is, it's got to be one of the bigger players, and we're exploring that. So, but we can't tell you the exact timing on that as yet.
Of course. What's the team planning to increase token adoption?
So that's on the roadmap. When we share that with you on the token utility, you will see that based on the utility, in order for the community to be really part of this ecosystem and what we're bringing to the table for them to be part of these awesome shows, awesome projects, etc., and get the benefits, then they're going to have to have the token. Without the token, all the other things are not possible for them. So there's a natural route for token adoption, and because it is intrinsically linked to every part of our ecosystem.
Gotcha. Any plans for an app or mobile, iOS, Android, Windows?
Yeah, look, the short answer is yes. So, there is actually a new app we're going to be announcing fairly shortly. And I think most people would understand that, especially with iOS, it's if it's direct crypto, then it becomes a bit of a challenge getting it through Apple and their policies, etc. But we do have something in the pipeline.
Yeah. Let's see. So many comments.
That's good. Good to see comments, because that means people are engaged.
Absolutely. Everyone can be little producers of our own favorite movies. Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Some people are saying that they just invested. Great to see. All right, let's see if I can actually find comments to reply. How can creators pitch their project to Ritestream, or are you planning to reach certain creators that are already famous on their platforms?
No, we're going to open the platform to everyone, and there'll be a place on the Launchpad where you can actually apply for your projects. And you can say, here's my project. Then, of course, we'll go through a due diligence process, because we want to ensure that we protect our community as well. And if you pass that process, then you can raise funding on our platform.
Awesome. Let's see. App, we already answered this. How can retail actually really make money using through this project? Do you understand this question?
Yeah, so how can retail actually really can make money using through this project? So the right token gives you access, like I mentioned before, right? So it's literally your gateway, your pass to everything within our ecosystem. Now, once you're in our ecosystem, then imagine if you're part of a great movie project. Through that movie project, you're going to get a variety of benefits. You're going to get different rewards and so forth over time. And that can translate into monetary value. Of course, none of this is financial advice, people, as I have to caveat that about making money, but there are definitely ways that you can benefit, yes.
Gotcha. Is there going to be another token or just right to participate in the productions?
When you have the right token, why would you go with the wrong token, right? It's like
how are you going to attract more content developers in the platform?
that is super easy, because I had mentioned, I know you're late to the party a little bit, but earlier on I had mentioned that we also have a Web2 platform that's called All Rights, and on that Web2 platform we have 5,000 creators already on there, and which means that we've got a pipeline that we can funnel here, and very selectively, of projects that we think would be good for our platform.
Awesome. This is another interesting question. Are you planning on entering the gaming sphere at all?
I wouldn't rule it out, because at the end of the day, that's all entertainment, the way I see it, and our goal is to disrupt the entire industry. So sure, why not?
Ooh, you heard it here, folks. Also, thoughts on being available on Ethereum. Not to compare, but Hello also started out on the Binance Smart Chain and then added Ethereum. I thought it was a good move.
Yeah, look, I think Ethereum is a lot better now than it was a couple of years back when we started, and yeah, definitely. We see ourselves being multi-chain in the future, for sure.
Awesome. What a great show. Love how very clear vision he has, and he actually prepared for the show. Love it. Mr. Mehta knows what he's doing. I'm 100% convinced.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Sam. Kartik, got a question about Tangent. When I put a new contract address, it shows a blue icon. Yeah, I'll take this one. It's just because it's a custom address, and I think it's just on the back end of Tangent to update the logo because they show the Ritestream logo for the old contract. So it's just probably in the next product update that they're gonna roll out. They're gonna update the icon, but the contract address is there. So regardless of the icon showing or not, you can just send the funds there, and you shouldn't have any issues. I've done it myself. Yeah, more comments. More people actually want to know more about it. Let's go on the right. When
You're
will
definitely on the right path.
exactly? When will the world know the name Ritestream by heart? When is this gonna be a mainstream name, in your opinion?
Well, when you, the people, come on the journey with us and help us make it happen. So we're doing everything, and we've got a roadmap on how to achieve that. And you can imagine, right? It's like when All Rice is listed on NASDAQ, that we are already in the public eye in that sense. And when we're going to trade fairs like MIPCOM, Cannes Film Festival, etc., and when we're talking to producers, when we have massive booths out there and say have Ritestream up in the lights, that's when the industry will really get to recognize us. So that's not far. That's uh, like literally in the next year or so, I would imagine.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, your project has been out for a while. What has been the biggest obstacle for you to move the project forward? And maybe you want to also clarify why like there was like a sudden attention to this project. I mean, of course, people have seen like the project go like 10x from
Mhm.
the ground up. So maybe you want to also clarify, is there been any specific update that has made this happen? Maybe you can just like share a light on that.
Yeah, look, we have been busy building the project. We knew that it was a bear market and creating a lot of hype, and that's not sustainable.
Yeah,
Ultimately, for a business, it's about having a strong foundation, and it's about building something that actually is going to generate revenues, that actually is going to have real customers and so forth. And so, unlike a lot of projects that have survived on hype, uh, we've gone underground and we said, okay, while there's a bear market, we need to build. And then as we're building, then of course, the word naturally got out about what we're doing. And then people started comparing us to, hey, Hello's done this. What about Right? And I that and rightly so, because if Hello is doing one TV show and we're doing 10 in a year, then you can imagine where this baby is going to go, right? So I
yeah.
think people have caught on to something really good.
Exactly, exactly. So last thing about the compares. Do you have anything else to say about the people comparing to hell other than this? I think you replied already, but
I,
is anything else?
I, I have, and look, I don't like, I don't like saying anything bad about anybody else. It's like, for us, it's about our journey. And I've said this in one of my Telegram comments, that I look at it as Microsoft and Apple, right? And the thing that I love about Steve Jobs is that he never worried about what Microsoft was doing. He never said, Microsoft built that feature, therefore I'm going to do that. It was like, for him, it was like, I'm going to build this awesome product. And that's all he ever focused on. And that's kind of our journey. So we don't like to compare ourselves to other projects or what other people are doing. And we bless the journey that they're on. That's,
Exactly,
best of luck to them. And I hope they succeed. And, our success is our success, and there's plenty of room.
exactly, exactly. Any plans to bring mainstream movies, same like Netflix?
Yeah, 100%. That's the purpose of Ritestream.
Fantastic. Let's see, guys. Last chance to drop some questions. You're still in time to drop a couple. I have coins of Maxi. Do I have to change anything, new contract, or am I fine?
You don't have to do anything. The swap has been done internally at Mexi. So when it goes live, you'll just have your tokens and trade normally.
Perfect, perfect. Good to hear. Why has there been so many changes in the team lineup, and why is the white paper not been updated in 2 years? I don't know if this is the truth, but you want to clarify?
I, well, actually, there hasn't been massive changes in the team. Damon and I have been together on this journey since day one, and even before day one. The core team members that you see up there are still here. They haven't left. Jamie's still there, and Mike is still there. Suki's still there. So there haven't been changes in the team. But what we have done is we have added some great new team members, and that naturally happens as a project evolves and grows. Why haven't we updated the white paper in a couple of years? Because um, uh, we have made some updates along the way, and if people haven't noticed it, then uh, I'm sorry. It's not not my fault. But we have made some updates, but we have also been more focused on building and not just talking about it. And it's easy to update a white paper, but it's much harder to build. And so our focus has been on executing. And yes, we will be doing further updates to the white paper for sure to keep that in line with where the vision has evolved.
Is there like an ETA that you have of that people can look forward to?
For the white paper update, why don't I get the team to share that on the roadmap when we announce that? Because there are lots of different moving parts, and I don't want to promise a date that I don't have clearly before me.
Gotcha. Sure. Oh, let's see. Another question. How can you incentivize producers and content developers to publish on Ritestream?
So the greatest incentive for the producers is that they can get their concepts funded much faster through Ritestream than they would be able to through traditional means, through studios and so forth. The second incentive is that they get to keep a bigger share of the revenues that their creative project generates. The third incentive for them is that they retain creative control. When you sell a show to a studio or even a Netflix, you lose creative control. You lose your vision because it's all dictated by what the commercial outcomes are. And with Ritestream, you retain all of that. So there's plenty of incentive for the creators.
Gotcha. Maybe a last question, maybe since I've already taken a lot of time. Let's see.
No problem.
Are you planning to have production in other languages than English?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we've got 8 billion people on the planet, and there's like over 1.5 billion that speak Chinese, and then the 1.5 billion that speak Hindi and so forth. So definitely, we're not ignoring any of the big communities.
Awesome. Congrats to both of you. Thank you so much to you, fam, and to everybody who's tuning in. This has been like a great AMA. Last question that we have. Will the Launchpad only launch movies or other contents, and project will also be eligible?
Yeah, everything. This is about content, and I think somebody asked about gaming before, so we don't rule any content out.
Fantastic. Wow, this has been great, Riaz. I really want to thank you kindly for stopping by. This has been great, and I'm very happy that you were able to talk more about this great project. I'm really looking forward to all of these updates, to see the potato roadmap, and ultimately to see like Cryptonites and everything that you're gonna bring to the stream market. So thank you again so much. This has been awesome. Is there anything else that you want to add to our audience?
Well, thank you all. These are fantastic questions. I really appreciate the spirit of this community that you have separate around you as well, and the positivity and the comments that I've seen. I feel really energized, and even more so now than ever to actually deliver to you guys what I've promised as well. And separately, I would be very happy to come back on your show again.
Absolutely.
And talk about the roadmap and dive into more details. So because you're fantastic, man. I love you and love your community, and thank you so much.
My pleasure. So yeah, for sure you can expect more stuff in the future, and yeah, long-term collaboration to come.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you again. Thank you guys. And
thanks everyone. Take care.
Bye bye.